Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So guys, I didn't plan on having another show tonight. I guess I'm dealing with a bit of insomnia. And since I was already in my studio, fuck it, I'll be like Batman. I'll watch the night. Um, Fake news alert. Fake news alert. And I have this set as MSNBC, which is actually CBS, NBS, which is, it's NBC, which is my own version of fake news apparently. But there's a fake news alert. And this fake news alert has recently come out. I've recently been made aware of it. And so I am responding to the fact that fake news is potentially out. In an interview that NBC is promoting, NBC says Russia tried to hack our elections. There were 21 states in which there was an attempted hack of our elections. Let's take a look at the article. And understand, I'm showing this article, explaining that this article is fake news. So, NBC, credible news source, supposedly, Russia penetrated U.S. voter system, says top U.S. official. Russia penetrated United States voter system, says U.S. official. The United States official in charge of protecting American elections from hacking says Russia successfully penetrated the voter registration rolls of several United States prior to the 2016 presidential election. In an exclusive interview with NBC News, Jeanette Manfra, the head of the cybersecurity at the Department of Homeland Security, said she couldn't talk about classified information publicly, but in 2016, we saw targeting of 21 states, and an exceptionally small number of them were actually successfully penetrated. Jay Johnson, who was Department of Homeland Security Secretary during the Russia intrusion, said 2016 was a wake-up call and now incumbent upon states and the feds to do something about it before our democracy is attacked. Again, democracy being attacked. They attacked our democracy. Attacked our democracy. We were able to determine that the scanning and the probing of voter registration databases was coming from the Russian government. NBC News reported in 2016 that more than 20 states have been targeted by Russians. There is no evidence that any of the registration rolls were altered in any fashion according to United States officials. Now, up here, Russia's penetrated U.S. voter systems. Okay. And then, let's see, she goes, exception small number. Now, we can't show you anything, so you have to take our word for it that this is what took place. Yeah, man, I'm beyond taking your word for it. If you're positioning us against a foreign power, that's a big fucking deal. Here's the problem with this narrative. A, they just said we have no evidence that anything was taken or anything was altered. And two, we learned that CIA has hacking tools. Now, what I'm getting at here is not necessarily to point blame or point finger. I'm trying to make the point that if the CIA created an NSA inside the CIA, so the CIA didn't have to talk to the NSA to get certain information, and the hacking tools that is at its disposal, it has capacity to mimic other nations. Why wouldn't other nations have the capacity to do the same thing? Meaning, why wouldn't other nations have the capacity to quote-unquote mimic Russia in this regard? That's the first point. So saying that this is definitively Russia is kind of besides the point. I mean, you can't necessarily say it's definitively Russia. The second point to this is less speculation and more DHS telling you itself that there was no hacking, there was only probing of the machines itself.
Regular conversations with Commissioner Cortez and a range of other state election officials. When you characterize these things as attacks, I think that is perhaps overstating what may have happened in the 21 states, as was mentioned over the course of the summer. The majority of the activity was simple scanning. Scanning happens all the time. It's happening right now to a number of probably your websites. Scanning is a regular activity across the web. I would not characterize that as an attack. It's a preparatory step. In terms of those scripts, there are two scripts. One script was provided to states that wanted additional information if they were included in that batch of 21.
NBC News tried to make this look like it was some bombshell story. This has already been talked about. Not just talked about. The guy cybersecurity of voting machines, Rayburn, House Office Me. This guy from the DHS is essentially making the argument that, look, the scanning takes place all the time. NBC is trying to make it look like this bombshell story. This story was talked about. This goes all the way back. DHS official denies Russia tried to hack the 21-state voting system. DHS official Christopher Krebs denies the widely reported story that DHS claimed Russia attempted to hack voting machines in 21 states. It's overstated. That's what he's saying. December 2017, a DHS official is explaining what they were saying is overstated. Fast forward, same story. NBC News, bombshell, bombshell. Russia hacked us. Russia hacked voting machines. Russia hacked voting machines. You make the choice. I'll put it that way. But every error, every falsehood that has come out of the news, forgive me for being skeptical, but these guys have lied multiple times. And not just lied, sloppy reporting. Sloppy reporting. If you come up with a bombshell, fair enough. But the bombshells that they've come up have always ever gone in one direction, against Donald Trump. And in one case after another, anything showing Russian interference is shown to be false. Meaning when they've said, hey, we found the link between Trump and Russia, false. Fake news. Hey, we found, oh, wrong date. It always goes in one way. It always goes in one direction. And this story NBC is putting out right now has already been contradicted, a month, 2 months ago, by a DHS official, Christopher Krebs, saying what they're saying is overblown and we were not penetrated. Fake news. At the very least, news where there's a certain amount of conflict in the story itself. Let's say it that way. So I'm calling this a fake news alert. You can make your own judgments on it. At the very least, Christopher Krebs have come out and say, yeah, this is not the case. This is not true. This is just something that's routine. NBC News apparently thinks that this is a bombshell. And NBC News is saying, no, Christopher Krebs was wrong, that this system has been penetrated by Russians. In 2 or 3 days, I expect them to come back. Okay, we overstated this. I don't know if that's true. All I'm saying is DHS has already gut this story that these guys are trying to revive. Make your own judgments. All right, guys.